Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Saturday, the 13th of November 2021. It's time for our New York Times hard level puzzle. Originally, I was going to do this after swimming, but I had a bit of a headache this morning after doing the expert level Guardian. It really wasn't very difficult, but I had a bit of a headache anyway, so I went back to sleep. And now I've woken up again, and I figure let's let the swimming pool heat up a little before we head there. So let's play this New York Times game first of all, shall we? First thing I see is this 4 blocking across here like this, and the 4 blocking across here. So that gives me a 4 there. I also see in a slightly, well, no, let's just do it like this. 9 blocking this square here, this 9 blocking these 3 squares. So 9's got to go in this square here for this column. Okay. Right, what else? Lots of pairs of 6s in a kind of symmetrical pattern. Okay, well, of course, what's missing here? I forgot to look. 3 and 7, huh? Okay, that doesn't do a great deal for us. Okay. All right, so let's highlight some numbers and count through and see if I can see anything useful before I have to hit any pencil marks. Okay. No. No, as I said, 6s are in lots of places as pairs, but kind of symmetrical pattern, but that's it. Okay, so 7 blocks here, 7 blocks here, so 7 is in one of these 2 squares, right, which will block up here, and 7 blocking up here, so that puts a 7 there. All right, so it's time for some pencil marks, I guess. Let me just, before I do that though, let me just examine this column here, because I haven't looked at that yet, and see what's missing. 1, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got a 4. This 4 here we need for this column, right? And we've got this 4 blocking these 3 squares, so in fact we've got a 4 there. Missing numbers down here are 1, they go there. 5, they go there. And 8, they go not in that square, but in this one and this one. So, now is that going to help any? 5, 8. Not much intersecting in these columns, really. If there were more, that might help. It's only that 9. We already can see 9 is going to be in these blocks anyway. These columns and squares anyway, I should say. 6 is pretty fixed already. Okay, so that doesn't really give me a great deal there. Is there anything else here? The 1s now up there, down there. Okay, so then in that case, I think it's time to fill in some pencil marks. Let's do that. So we've got this 1 blocking across here, so 1 is a pair in these squares. We've got a strip of 1s up here. I think I'll leave them for the moment. I'll come back and do strips later if I need to, but for the moment let's just concentrate on pairs and maybe some useful ones. Excuse the sound of somebody drilling the road outside, if you can hear that in the background. Reminds me of when they were drilling my teeth the other week. It's bringing back nightmares. Okay, not much happening there. 3s, well, okay, let's fill in these first of all. This was 3 and 7, right? So that blocks the 3 across there, the 3 blocks down here. So 3 is actually a pair in these squares. Nah. Can't get any more pairs on 3s. 4 blocking up here and 4 blocking across here gives me a pair of 4s here, and also up here as well, of course. I know 4s are going here in the same place that 1s are going, but I can't narrow it down to a pair just yet, so we'll hold off on that idea. Fives. Okay, 5s are a pair here. Not much else. 6s. Now, as I said, okay, so we've got 6s in this square, 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 and this square. As I mentioned, I saw that kind of pattern, fairly symmetrical, almost, not quite symmetrical, but almost symmetrical pattern. Earlier, right, nothing else we can do about them. 7 is a pair down here now, because of this and this. 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks across here, excuse me, and 7 down here, so a pair of 7s in those squares. Eight blocking across here and across here gives me a pair of 8s there. 8 blocking up here and 8 blocking across here gives me a pair of 8s down here, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, 8s will be in here. Oh, I forgot to put in the 1s, didn't I? 1 there. Okay. Have I finished with 8? Yeah, I think I have. And so 9 blocks up here, and 9 blocks up here, and 9 blocks across here, so a pair of 9s in those squares. 9 blocking down. I went diagonally, but it doesn't matter. You see the 2 9s here blocking down, so a pair of 9s in these squares. 9 blocking across here and across here. 9 is available just in those 2 squares there. So 9 has got to be either here or here. There's also must be a possibility of a 9, right? Because 9 blocks up here. And across here. I'll just try to bear that in mind. I'm going to go through the numbers once more, and I'm going to put in these strips. What I mean is a triple if it's in a row or a column. So I think that's a helpful thing to see patterns. So I'll put in the 1s there. That's it. The 2s. Okay, threes. Now 3 blocks across here and across here, so we can put in this 3 in this row, even though it's not a pair. You know, looking, my search for pairs was really to try and find matching pairs, and I didn't really get any, so this can help a bit, I think. Okay, 4s. 4 blocking up here, so 4 is one of those squares there. Fives have to be in one of these squares in this column. And that's about it. 6. Oh, 6 is sorted already. 7s, no, I don't think so. 8s. No, 9. Not anything else we can do, is there? So let's see what we've got. Not a great deal. 6. Okay, so let's start filling in other candidates. Oh, hold on a second. I have discovered something here. 4, 5, and 6. 3 numbers in 3 squares. Ah, okay. 3 numbers in 3 squares here. 4, 5, and 6. So that might give me some solace. Okay, so we've got 7 blocking across here. So actually 7 is a pair here like this. We've got 2 blocking up here and 2 blocking across here. So in fact 2 is a pair here and 2 is also a pair here now. Right? We've got the blocking 2 across here, we've got the 2 down here. So that actually was slightly better than I realized. Now what else? What are the other 2 numbers? 1 and 6. Well, okay, great, because we got no, sorry, not 1 and 6. We got 4, 5, and 6 here. 1 and 3 must be, mustn't it? 1 and 3. Well, 1 blocks this square here, so you put in 1 in those squares, I guess. And the 3 can go anywhere, though. We don't have any info about 3s, do we? Guess not. So 3 could go anywhere. But anyway, that's much better than I had realized. So let's finish this shoot, shall we? Right, so we have a 1 blocking up here, so 1 is possible in these squares. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 done. 7 blocking here and 7 blocking here, so 7 available in those squares. 8 we've got already. 9 blocks. Oh, 9 is done already as well, sorry. Okay, let's examine this shoot and see if there's anything else we can get. No, not really. Anyway, it's reasonably tidy. It's not, you know, a candidate, a pencil laden, soaked to the point of, you know, being completely drenched and not being able to recover. I think it's quite reasonable so far. Looking okay. Now, so I'm just going to start up here. 1, 2 is not done. 2 blocks across here like this. And so 2 is available in these squares. 3 is done. 4 is done. 5 is not done. 5 blocks across here. So 5, oops, sorry, 5 is possible like this. 6 is done. 7, 8, 9, yes. Okay, let's come down here then. 1, 2 is done. 3, no, we have no idea about 3s. 4's done. 5s, do we have any idea on 5? No, we don't. So 5s can go anywhere. 6, 7, 8, 9 is all done now, so let's come down to this bottom. We know that these 3 are as they are, so the 2, we've got a blocking 2 across here, so 2 in these 3 squares. 3 is done, 4, 5 is done, 6 is done, 7 is done, 8 is done, 9 is done. We have a complete shoot here. We have a complete shoot, but it's not done a great deal. But I do see something. I've spotted something. I have spotted a 3 numbers in 3 rows type thing. So I do know that there are not going to be any other 3s, 5s, or 7s in that row. Shall I put in the candidates for this block, bearing that in mind? 3, 7, 3, 5, 7, right? This is all complete. So no 3s, 5s, or 7s allowed in these 2 squares. Okay, so 1 is done. 2 blocks down here and across here. So 2 is available in those squares. 3 blocks down here and across here now, because no 3, 5s, or 7s. So 3 in the same places we put the 2s. 4 blocks up here. Oops, what's wrong with my mouse today? It seems to be dropping. It seems to be kind of sticky or something. 4 blocking across here. So 4 in those squares. 5 we know blocks across here, so 5 available like this. 6 is done, 7 is done, 8 is done, 9 is done. We found ourselves a single 5. Wasn't that nice that we noticed this triple along here, because it's enabled us to place a 5 very quickly, I think. And that will give us a 4 in this square here, of course. And then back over here, since 4 blocks across here and 4 up here, we know that's a 4 to get there. So shall we remove some candidate 4s where we can't use them? Let's do that now. And 5s, let's get rid of the 5s here and there. All right. And let's examine again and see. Now what we have here is a pair of 2 and 3 matching pairs, so we know that that 3 must be eliminated and the 2 and 3 here must be removed also. That leaves us with just 1 and 7 here. Okay, so now we have 1, 3, 1, 7 and 3, 7. It's easy to spot like that, or maybe you just spotted it anyway, that this is the only 2 in this column, so that's got to go there now. We can remove 2 from this square. Okay. 2, 3, of course, in here. So I have to remove the 3 there, and that leaves me with a single 8 to get. So now we've got 6 in this square, 9 in this square. Okay. And this 6 means that this must now be a 5, and the 6 must be in this square here. Now 5 here means that this is no longer has the possibility of being a 5. So now we have a pair of 1 and 3 there. That looks to be good, doesn't it? Okay, so it's pretty neat and tidy now, I think. Glad I spotted that early on before having to go ahead and put in all of the candidates. And that's something that you find, I think it helps you a lot if you don't need to put in all the candidates. You just have to put in some. That can be a great help. I'm just going to look and see if there's anything else I can do at this stage. going to put in this strip of 4s here because of this 4 and this 4. I think that might help me. This is, if you can hear strange noise in the background, it's a donut seller. She walks around with a cart selling donuts. I haven't had lunch yet. It's definitely not time for a donut. Okay, so we have 8 blocking across here and 8 blocking up here. So we definitely have a pair of 8s there. Right, so I guess I will have to continue, unless I see anything. I'm going to have another quick shufti around to see if there's anything else that looks doable. No, let's get on. So, top or button, doesn't really matter. 1 blocking up here, so 1 available in these squares. 2, 3, 4 is done. 5 blocks across here, 5 blocks up here, so 5 allowed there. 6 is done. 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks up here, so 7 in those squares. 8's done. Where's the 9? There's the 9 there and there. So 9 in those squares there. Let's have a look at this top shoot and see if there's anything useful. 1, 2, 4, 9. How many is that? 1, 2. No, I don't see anything there. So let's come down here then. So 1 blocking down here and 1 blocking across there. So 3 1s are possible. 2 blocking down this column and 2 blocking across the bottom row. So a square of 2s there. 3s blocking down here, and also this is a pair of 3s blocking across here. So 3 is possible like that. 4 we've got. 5 blocks down here. I wonder if we're going to get a single here. 5 blocks across here, so 5 in those squares. 6, 7 we have. No, nothing there. 8 block across here and down here, giving us 8 in these 2 squares. Is that right? No. 8 down here and 8 across here. 3 squares, sorry. 3 squares for 8. And finally with 9 blocking, yeah, we are going to get a single. 9 blocking down here. So we've got 9 available in these squares, giving us a single 8 here to place. And allowing us to remove 8 there and 8 in these squares like this. And once we remove those 8s, we will see that 8 is forced into this square here. It's the only place it can go. This is definitely a 5 now. It's the only 5 there. 1 to place there, and then 1 must be removed from these squares and placed here. And that leaves us with a single 7 here and giving us a 1 up here. Also says get rid of the 1s there, and along here we can get rid of the 1s, and as soon as we do that, we'll find a single 3 here. And meaning we can get rid of 3s on either side, and this square down here is now surely a 7. And this is a 1 and a 3, so it looks like we've done the hard bit by now. I suspect it's going to be pretty straightforward from here on in. Let's remove that 7. So we're left with 3 and 5 there. Okay. I suspect it's not going to pose too much danger as it stands. Could be wrong, of course. I've been known to be wrong before, many times, but I don't think it's going to be too tough. Now, 1 is limited to this square only, so we can place it, and we know 1 has to go here, and we know now that we've got all the 1s, we can remove any other excess candidate 1s. 2. Okay, looks to be in order. 3. 3 now, obviously we've got this 3 here, so that's got to be a 7. Oops, wrong mode selected. 7. And 3 is here. Uh, 4, this is the only place for a 4 now. And so this clearly can't be a 4 anymore. Let's take away the 4 from that square, and let's place the 4 here. And these 2 squares can't be 4. 4 has got to be here. 4 is now a completed digit as well. This is the only 8 in this row. I just spotted this immediately. This is, look, there's 2, 7, 2, 3 numbers here, so that's got to be an 8, which will give us a 2 in this square, and an 8 in this square is the only place an 8 can go. 8 is now completed as well. This 2 means this is a 9, and the 9 gives us a 7 here and a 2 here, giving us 5 in this square, 7 in this square. Meaning this is 5 and 9, right? We don't have 7, so this has got to be a 6. And this can't be 6, so 6 is here now. Shall we do some candidate removals? Let's get rid of the 6 there, and let's get rid of this 7 before I make any major blunders. 7 here as well to get rid of. Okay, 7 is done. We're just looking for 2, 3, and 5 now. That's all the remaining candidates we have. So, oh, and 9, sorry. 2, 3, 5, 9. Okay. Right, so where are we now? 9 up there. Any intersecting 5s or 9s? Don't see any. 3 or 5 here. Yeah, okay, so we have this 5 intersecting here, so we know this is now a 3. Our 5 must be here. We've got the 3 here, so we know this is now 2. This has to be 9. Last number in this block is 3. Last number in this row is 9. This is a 2, of course, now. 2 gives us 3 here, 2 here. The 9 from down here gives us a 5 in this square, and 9 in this square. We're just left with 3 and 5 here. So this 3 means that 3 is in this square, and this square has to be a 5, 2. Give us our rainbow pattern and say thank you to the New York Times hard level puzzle today for its reasonable game. Nothing too tough there. I think it helped a lot that I spotted that triple before filling in all the candidates. Meant I didn't have to go all the way, as it were, and end up with too many. So that's it. A couple of triples, actually, I should say. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again later for the Los Angeles Times. Bye-bye.